¿Qué? Pásame la llave.
No sé cuál me voy, el ferro, el Porsche, la C3 o el Rolls Royce. El bote parqueado en San Croix, viviendo la vida como si se va a acabar hoy. Yo, tranquilo en la mía es que estoy. El Richard Zafiro, Dios más los bendiga, mis hijos no nacerá otro como Floyd. La baby le llegan, los míos al día no le falta nada. Las guaguas son negras, están todas blindadas. Tú ronca allá afuera, aquí tú no eres nada. Porque mi tiempo me vale dinero, no te asustes si te enseño todos los ceros. La vida me bendijo porque me mero, soy mi jefe, so hago lo que yo quiero. Aquí arriba no llegan, tú sabes que aquí es real. Me venga a frontear, preguntarle al banquero, son 3 melones semanal. No existe quien me va a parar, se juntaron todos para quererme frenar. Saludo a la federal y al estatal, cambié todas las válvulas ya que pueden ver.
First opened in 2006, we're at beautiful Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. Ought to be a good one here between the Atlanta Braves and the St. Louis Cardinals. Stay tuned for Cardinals baseball. Next. John Lester, the southpaw out of the state of Washington, will be the starter. What's your take on him, Dan?
Hey, every team needs a pitcher like this one here. His numbers aren't going to blow you away. Career ERA just under 4. But one thing he does, he takes the ball every 5 days, throws strikes, and gives his team a chance to win every single time he goes out there. He'll be fun to watch in this one here today.
Here's the first pitch to him. Ozzie Albies is at the plate now, and he takes a cold strike.
First pitch, 7-16.
Albies with a 1-1 count now. Temperature here at game time, a comfortable 75 degrees tonight. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Hey, if he's going to execute that curveball, and that's the first one of the day, if he's going to execute it like that, be on the lookout for that one.
And now, meanwhile, here's a ball headed out toward deep left center field, and this is going to clear the wall, a home run. Ozzie Albies with a solo homer, number 18 for him on the campaign. As the Braves get on the board first, it's 1-0.
I love the way this lineup's constructed. Right out of the gate, they smack you right in the mouth with one of the better power hitters in their lineup, and he takes him deep right there to set the tone.
In is Jorge Soler.
Right fielder, number 12.
He offers at it and hits it in the air to left. Sosa retreats to the outfield grass, and he has it for route number 1. And now a moment to show you the lineup for Atlanta in this one. What do we need to know about these guys for this evening's matchup on the road, Nero?
You know, Matty, it's interesting. You take a look at the research packet handed out before today's game. And one thing I notice about this lineup is the fact that they're in the bottom third of grounding into double plays. Teams are aware of that type of stuff. Creating good at-bats, not giving that extra out to the defense is huge in creating an environment to be successful throughout the course of a full year.
Now Lester's 0-1. And there are our umpires for this one. Working the plate is Dave Lawrence.
Dan, we got Dave Lawrence behind the dish tonight. One of the best in the business, in my opinion, but sometimes has a tendency to fall into a pattern where he's given a little bit too much on that outside corner.
Yeah, D-Roll, one of the things he'll do, he'll open up that outside corner, especially with left-handed batters. You know, what I'm seeing here is a reluctance to throw the fastball. It's like he feels he can't throw the ball right by him right now.
The 2-1 home.
Good job to work the count and put himself back in the driver's seat. Started off with 1 strike, and now he's got the count in his favor, 3-1.
Can't keep that one fair, and now the count's full. 1 out, nobody on. Again, he sends it out of play. And he goes against the shift there as this is on the ground to the left side. And that's through for a hit.
Boy, so frustrating as a pitcher. You make a quality pitch on the inside half of the plate right there. Try to bust him in, D-Row, and he fights it off the other way.
Yeah, you tip your hat to the pitcher right there. He executed his pitch, but nice job by the offensive player fighting. It doesn't matter what it looks like. A knock's a knock.
Into the box now, Austin Riley, as he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1. And he watches one dip low and inside for a ball. 1-1. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. There goes the runner. Slapped hard the opposite way. In there, a base hit. And they won't even attempt to run on that arm in right. So despite the runner moving on the pitch, it'll wind up first and second here. Dansby Swanson lining up to hit as the first pitch to him is taken low and away for ball 1.
Tough situation early out on the mound, but if he can limit the damage right here, might build some confidence and get him rolling.
Two-0 the count to Dansby Swanson.
Hey, time to start making some quality pitches. He finds himself in a tough spot behind an account with guys on base.
Drilled right back up the middle, and that'll get through into center field for a base hit. And they're not going to get him. He's in there at the plate.
Hey, listen, when you have a good sinker, you have to throw it, but he's going to have to get the ball much lower in the zone than that last one.
Yeah, from the offensive side, Dan, 2-seamer, pitcher, sinker baller, what have you, you're looking for that thing to pop out above the belt, and that's exactly what happened right there. Miss middle.
So now to the plate, Adam Duvall. A ball and no strikes. First and second now, 1 man out. That evens it up, 1-1. From the stretch. Hit in the air out to straightaway left. O'Neill waits on it. 2 gone. And no tag at second. He'll head back there with 2 away now. The next to bat for Atlanta, Jock Peterson. And now the Braves look to put more across the plate in this opening frame. He's set and the pitch. As Lester jumps ahead of him here with strike 1.
I think this inning could have far-reaching effects in this game. They're really making him work, and unless he dials it in, it's probably going to limit how deep he goes into this game.
Already 24 pitches to this point in the inning. And that's into the corner, a foul ball and right. Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball. And he'll just waste one there, 1-2. Smoke toward the hole, and that's through into right field for a base hit. The throw to the plate. And they're not going to get him as he's in there to score.
Batting eighth, the catcher,
Kevin Smith will be next. He's got a chance to add on to what's already been a big inning for them.
Yeah, 2 on here and 3 on the board already. They've absolutely come out and forced the issue of this inning. Matt, a hit here could really fire up that dugout.
First offering.
To me, it looks like he just doesn't trust himself out there on the mound. It's like he's fighting his body on every pitch, and as a result, we're seeing a lot of balls from him early on in this game.
The 1-0 is laid off for ball 2.
Got to find a way to execute either a good fastball down and away or flip something off speed for a strike. You cannot miss over the heart of the plate in these situations. The hitter is on high alert.
Too high, and it's 3-0.
His pitch count is getting up there in the inning now. He needs to get this frame over with sooner than later, so forcing contact and getting the defense involved is probably the best thing he can do.
Here it comes, the 3-0. Hard hit ball to second, and he couldn't quite get high enough to pull that one down. It's into right center, a base hit. And another runs across as this is now a 4-0 ball game.
batting ninth, the pitcher, number 54, Max Fried.
Standing in now, Max Fried, as he will take strike one on the fastball here. No balls and a strike.
He definitely doesn't look himself to start this one, and this lineup needs to be on the attack early and be aggressive and find a way to stay in this game.
And he falls behind 0-2.
Hey, I know it's the pitcher at the plate, but he's going to grind it out right here. He's got a chance to help himself, and nothing's a bigger backbreaker to a team than watching the pitcher drive in a run.
1-2 now to the Braves pitcher. 4 runs here in this half inning. Pitch popped up. Arenado shading to his right, and he makes the catch to retire the side. 9 men come to the plate, 4 score. On now to the bottom of inning number 1. The Braves lead it 4-0. Max Fried, the southpaw out of the Golden State, gets the call here. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Well, this guy's kind of unique. How about a 5-pitch repertoire that he has? That gives him a lot of options for both righties and lefties, and if he's on, he could be really tough to hit.
And stepping in, Tommy Edman. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
The second baseman, Tommy Edman.
Here it comes. As he'll take a look at a curveball that misses wide for ball 1. Now the 1-0. A swing and a miss, strike 1.
1-1.
The 1-1. Just hung in there on that one. And he'll lay off the curveball that's in the dirt that time, and it's back to even now at 2-2.
This is a fun guy to watch when he's up there. Really battles. Doesn't take any pitches off. He's a grinder. Always seems to make it difficult on the opposing pitcher.
Count remains 2-2.
I know that fastball registered at about 92-93, but I guarantee you it looked about 4 to 5 miles an hour faster than that. for this offensive player. After coming off a curveball, the old push the throttle and pull it is being used.
Got him swinging on the fastball there. Tommy Edman is dealt with for the first out in the bottom of the inning. To the plate now, Dylan Carlson. And a swing from him yields a foul pop out of play to the right. The numbers coming in. He's at 255, 10 home runs, and 43 RBIs. Drives it to deep right field. So they're going back, but he won't get there as it lands just shy of the wall. And he'll reach second now with one away.
That was a great job of driving that ball, extending his arms very well, was able to get it over the right fielder's head, one hopping it off the wall for an easy double. That's one of those solid hits that you don't even feel coming off the bat.
Here's Paul Goldschmidt now. Oh, forget about this one. Baba Booey. And out of here. And I mean by plenty. That ball was crushed. A two-run home run off the bat of Paul Goldschmidt, making it an even 250 for his career. And the Cardinals have cut the deficit to 2. It's now 4-2 now.
Yeah, and as we take a look at it on replay, you can see this thing was gone from the second it left his bat. A thunderous shot that dang near gave the pitcher a little whiplash. Challenged him with a fastball and lost big time.
And that'll bring in Nolan Arenado.
The third baseman,
As he'll take a look at a slider here that misses for ball one. He comes in at 262 on the year, and even 20 home runs and 61 RBIs. And I believe he broke the plane of the plate there. He most certainly did. It's a ball and a strike. Still only one out in the inning. High chopper over to first. Freeman is up with it, and he'll take it onto the bag himself. 2 gone now here in the first. Now a moment here in St. Louis to look at the Cardinals starting lineup. Thoughts, Dan? Who stands out?
Well, I'm looking for a big performance from Nolan Arenado. He's got a batting average of over 400 with runners in scoring position coming into this one. I love watching him in those situations because he gets really dialed in. Hopefully we get to see some of that today.
Into the box, Tyler O'Neill. And he'll watch one miss up and away for a ball, 1-0. Looking to get on base and keep this first inning alive. One-0 pitch is a curveball. That looked good from here, but it's 2-0.
Looks like that bomb earlier in the inning kind of put this pitcher on the defensive. Not being very aggressive right now.
3-0 now.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had the green light here. Matter of fact, I know he's got the green light here. He's looking for something set or cut, and he's looking to do damage.
And he looks at ball 4 now, so he's aboard, and you always have to worry about the threat of the steal when he's on base.
Man, you hate to give up a 2-out walk to anybody, but especially to a speed demon like him. Good chance he's running here, and good luck trying to stop him.
Runner at first with 2 gone. And here now is the catcher, Yadier Molina. From the stretch, as he'll look at a fastball in there on the outer half, it's 0-1.
With that base running threat on first base, man, does that change the pitcher's whole mentality. This guy at the plate should assume nothing but heaters coming right at him.
Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by him, and the inning is over. But the Cardinals Barnes do strike for two, both coming on this two-run dinger. We'll head to the top of the second. It's the Braves 4 and the Cardinals 2.
My enemies feel like I got hundreds of them. No love for me. Y'all ain't in the streets. Y'all just in.
And that'll bring in the former top prospect, Ozzie Albies. Off to a fine start in this one after launching a homer his first time up.
For me, this is an important add-on inning here. Their little lead is cute. I like it, but keeping the pressure on, building that lead, that's how you bury someone.
And he'll step on first himself for the out.
The right fielder, number 12, Jorge Soler.
So one out and nobody aboard, and that'll bring up Jorge Soler to hit next. First offering. Ball one as he lays off below the zone. That one's down around the knees, taken for a strike. Now a good pitch around the knees, but it doesn't quite catch the bottom of the zone.
Wow, that's 40 pitches for him already. This doesn't have the makings of a start that he's going to go very deep.
Off-speed pitch misses here, and he runs it to 3-1.
He might still be thrown off from that first inning, guys. He got knocked around pretty good, and that can be hard to recover from mentally sometimes.
The 3-1. And he'll lay off the cut fastball here as this misses off the plate for ball 4.
You know, it takes a lot of discipline to watch a pitch like that go by, but on a 3-1 count, he had the luxury of being a little bit more selective up there. Good take and a walk is the result.
Next up is Freddie Freeman. He collected a base hit his first time up. Has a look, now the pitch. In there, 0-1.
Hey, the way this guy on the mound's been struggling to find the zone, I'm not mad at the guy taking a pitch.
Runners on first with one down. Swing and a miss as he pulls the top hand over. It's 0-2. Hard hit ball to second. Scooped up to second for one. On to first as they get the double play to get him out of the inning. Braves go down without a whimper here as they can't add to their 4-2 lead. At the plate now is Harrison Bader. And as you can see, he's had some troubles here in his own ballpark. That's something he'll look to improve upon in this one. First pitch on the way. Here's a slider to start things out, looked at for ball 1. A ball and a strike. One and two now as that one's fouled off. Into the windup and the pitch. Breaking ball, and he gets him to chase it in the dirt. And he makes the throw to first. Bader is retired, and there's one away.
Batting eight, the shortstop.
The next to bat for St. Louis, Edmundo Sosa. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Ball 1, no strike.
Bases are empty, one man out. Lifted in the air toward the line and right, but this is just going to wind up being a foul ball. The 1-1.
Hey, I couldn't tell from up here if the hitter was taken all the way or sitting fastball and just got knee buckled. Either way, that was a really good curveball right there. Move on to the next pitch, but have that in the back of your mind.
Count still at 1-2. pitch on the way. The 1-2 is a breaking ball that can't find the zone, and it's even at 2.
He might have to look for a different way to put this guy away on 2-2. He's already seen the curveball a couple of times, so he might be looking for it.
Tried to fool him with the changeup, but he won't offer at it. 3-2.
Well, you don't see it all that often, but this might be a good time for a 3-2 change. If he can locate it, it's nearly impossible to hit.
Too close for comfort, and he did a good job just to make contact. Fouled off.
4 foul balls in this AB. Pitcher cannot find anywhere to go to put this guy away.
And he takes ball 4, so he's on. And as you know, that often means the steal could be in order here.
Well, this guy's been prone to giving up walks in bunches, and that's already 2 walks here in the early going. We'll see if this continues to be an issue for him as this start continues.
So now the pitcher, John Lester. This is a textbook sacrifice situation, so let's see if that's the call. And now the first pitch. Showing bunt here, but he takes ball 1.
In today's game, if they're going to give you an out, you take it. You have to find a way to execute a pitch in the zone, allow him to get the bunt down, and take the out at first.
Here comes the 1-0. And they'll try and play for 1 here as he gets this one down. And they'll put the tag on him going to first, but the sacrifice is successful.
Sacrifice was in order right there as he gets the bunt down right there. And sometimes it's easier to just tag him instead of making that throw to first base.
That brings in Tommy Edman as he'll look at a fastball too high for ball 1. Struck out in his first at-bat. That's wide, 2-0.
Now you can see he's working around this guy right here. Why not? First base is open. Walk wouldn't be the worst thing in this spot.
Just the second inning, but already 37 pitches to this point. 2-1 after the foul ball there. From the belt, the pitch. And this ball is popped up, drifting back behind the mound. Throw to first beats him easily, and the side is retired. Cards leave 1, still down by a count of 4-2. Welcome back to Busch Stadium as we send it down to Heidi.
Matt, I had a chance to discuss the Braves' offense with their manager, Brian Snitker, during the commercial break. And one thing he mentioned is how well they're doing at simply putting the ball in play. We looked into the numbers, and as a team, they've had a contact rate of over 85% in this game, meaning that when they swing the bat, they're missing the ball less than 15% of the time. To put that into context, the very best teams in baseball usually are right around 80% for an entire season. So at least for today, they're displaying an amazing ability to put wood to ball.
Okay, thank you, Heidi. And now the first pitch. Set to deliver on 2-1. Now a ball crushed high in the air, deep to left, way back there, and that one is long gone. A solo shot here to left, number 22 on the year, and just like that, it's now a 5-2 ball game.
Well, in just a little more than 2 innings of work, he's given up 2 homers. Could be just one of those games for him We'll see how much rope they give him. It's definitely getting shorter at the moment.
And next will be Dansby Swanson digging in. As he'll go after the first pitch and bounce it into foul territory. 1 for 1 with a single so far. Now Lester's 0-1.
Oh, that's out.
No outs, nobody on. Wisely lays off the cut fastball there. It's 2-1. Three balls and a strike to the Atlanta shortstop. Here's strike 2 as it catches the outside corner. And a good sinker there gets him swinging for the first out.
Well, I'm glad we get another look at that beauty of a pitch right there. You can't spot a sinker in a better location because even if you do get the bat on the ball, there's not a whole lot you can do with that. Textbook sinker.
Stepping in now, Adam Duvall. As he'll take a look at an off-speed pitch here that misses for ball 1. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far. Two and 0 to Adam Duvall.
And this is why he's struggling right here. He's not able to pound the strike zone early in the count. These guys are finding themselves in serious count leverage situations, and good hitters aren't going to miss.
Too tight with that one. 3-0. Three balls and a strike to the Braves left fielder. And this misses for ball 4. The second walk he surrendered here in the first 3 innings.
Well, he walked him on 5 pitches, but that last pitch was really good. He missed down, but only by a hair. When a hitter has a 3-1 count, he can wait until he gets a pitch he loves.
Stepping in for the Braves, Jock Peterson. 1 in, 1 out, and 1 on here in the inning. First pitch on the way as he'll take a look at ball 1.
We're only in the 3rd inning, and his pitch count is above 60. That's not being too efficient with your pitches.
Runner at first here, 1 man out. Advantage count 2-0 to the Braves center fielder.
No strike.
Three and 0 now. Taken, and that one catches the bottom part of the strike zone. Tried to crush that ball, and now perhaps needs to shorten up with 2 strikes. From the belt, kicks and deals. Grounded to first. There's 1. On to Goldschmidt, and it's in time. A double play, and the side is retired. Braves able to tack on another courtesy of the solo shot. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. It's now 5-2 Atlanta. Bottom of the inning now, and next it'll be the outfielder, Dylan Carlson.
The right fielder, Dylan.
Now here's the first offering. Here it comes. And he'll try to check his swing here, but he'll have no such luck. It's strike 1.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating and feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
But this is yanked down out there at shortstop for the first out. So 1 gone here in the St. Louis third. And that'll bring up the big bat of Paul Goldschmidt.
And that home run he hit his last time up, he isn't going to forget about anytime soon. He absolutely destroyed a fastball.
Liner toward right center. And that's into the outfield for a 1-out hit. And this will bang up against the wall. And he'll pull into second with 1 away.
Well, he was definitely struggling coming into this one, but I think we could say that cold streak is officially over. That's his second hit of the game, and it goes for extra bases. We'll see now if this game proves to be a huge turning point for him.
Here's Nolan Arenado, as he'll take a breaking ball in off the plate for ball 1. 1 out and a runner on second base. To third. On to Freeman at first, and there are 2 away now. 2 out, runner in scoring position at second, and into bat next will be Tyler O'Neill. First offering, as he'll get caught chasing a bad one there at strike 1.
Hey, that's the modern game right now. North-south. Elevate that high fastball and bury stuff in the dirt. Completely different from the east-west we came up playing.
Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. Swing and a miss. Good sinking action there. 1 and 2.
Offered at that breaking ball below the zone, and that's a tough one to spit on. But the key is recognizing it coming out of the pitcher's hand earlier and making sure that it goes up before it comes down. More likely to be a hanger when that's the case.
To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
We just saw a fastball right there. I would not be shocked if he tries to get this guy to go fishing right here and drops a little off-speed pitch in the dirt.
And it's fouled away. 2 out here and a runner at second. Swing and a miss, and that's out number 3. 1 left for the Cardinals, and the deficit remains 5-2. Now at the plate here is Kevin Smith, looking to follow up the RBI single from his first at-bat.
Yeah, guys, everyone knows he's been slumping. Dan, you can certainly attest to this, only amassing a solid 1 hit in your entire career. But pressure's off now. Maybe he gets hot.
And Lester back to work as this is swung on and missed for the first strike. Cardinals are going to get something going in the bullpen now as a left-hander has begun to get loose. Strike 2 up in the zone. Down and away, it's a ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3.
The pitcher, number 54.
So in now is the Atlanta pitcher, Max Fried, 0 for 1 after a pop-out in foul territory his first time through. Here's the pitch. Reined in, and he'll step on first himself for the out. So the batting order turns over now and set to go Ozzie Albies. He launched one over the wall back in the opening frame. Now the first pitch here from Lester. Check swing, but he held up in time. Ball 1.
Ball 1, no strike.
Nearly got the inside, but ruled a ball. This should end the inning as it's sent out to second. He's got it. Throw in time, and the side is retired. Braves are set down 1-2-3, and it remains 5-2. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and now it'll be the catcher, Yadier Molina. First pitch on its way. Swung on, but it's pulled foul wide of third. Oh, 0-1 the count to Molina. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Can't keep the weight back, and he falls behind 1-2. Two and two to the Cardinals catcher. And good patience to hold back on the curveball in the dirt. It's full now, 3-2. Harrison Bader is on deck. Just staying alive, putting together a really good at-bat here. Now the 3-2 pitch. Right side, but it's going to be a foul ball.
You know, taking you inside the mind of a batter right here, you can't get in auto swing mode. You still have to control the strike zone.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here.
I know the fans love the souvenirs, but the battle between the pitcher and batter right here is what makes the game great.
And a half swing that time, but it's a full swing in the eyes of the umpire, and that'll be the first out of the inning. So next to bat will be Harrison Bader, looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat. And that misses, ball one.
Well, he punched out the last guy, but he didn't get any favors from the blue on the first pitch in this at-bat. Probably should be ahead of this hitter instead of behind.
Fourth inning here, already a 5-2 score. 2 balls and no strikes to the Cardinals center fielder. Now a swing and a fly ball. Soler is over, and he puts it away in foul ground for the second out. Stepping in for the Cardinals, Edmundo Sosa worked a walk his first time up. Here's the pitch. Into his windup, here comes the 1-0.
And how about the uncommon patience for the rookie in a big spot right here? These have been some tough pitches to lay off.
Too high, and it's 3-0.
Well, he knows it, but this is the kind of guy you just have to go right after. He's not the biggest threat with the bat, so it's time to challenge him right here.
And he looks at ball 4 now, so he's aboard, and you always have to worry about the threat of the steal when he's on base. Wally Olson is into the on-deck circle now as he'll pinch hit for the pitcher, Lester. He's set. Here it comes. Two runs, 3 hits, and no errors so far for the Redbirds. Fastball well outside. Throw over to first. Runner back safely. 1-1 pitch. Misses above the zone for a ball. The 2-1. Runners on the move for second. Strike taken. The throw. Throw down to second here is by him and into center field. And they won't get him as he's able to advance from first to third on what would certainly be scored a throwing error. So they'll slap an error on the catcher there, and you can tell he's not happy back there. Here now the 2-2.
For the guy on the mound, this is one of those innings where nothing comes easy. He's thrown a bunch of pitches, and this AB hasn't been any different. Definitely laboring at the moment.
He's set. Here's the 3-2. And there's ball 4 as this one gets away a bit.
Yeah, the pitching coach would hate to go to the bullpen this early in the game, but sometimes you have no choice. On the flip side, he might just get in his face a little bit out there, try to challenge him, wake him up from his funk. Either way, we'll see how it works.
And now back to the leadoff spot in the St. Louis lineup. Stepping in, Tommy Edman. He's ready. Here's the first pitch.
He's already walked 2 in this inning already. This guy just can't seem to find the strike zone.
Hit hard toward the right side. And that is down for extra bases as this will get 1 home and maybe 2. In to score the runner from third. So much of this game is situational hitting, guys. Nice job there.
Yeah, you've got to find a way to pick your teammates up when you're given the chance. And he doesn't try to do too much right here. He just takes what's there. Safely on second, and his buddy is high-fiving teammates in the dugout.
In now, Dylan Carlson as he lays off a fastball too low for ball 1. A hit in 2 at-bats for him at this point in the ballgame. Here's the 1-0.
Tough situation for him right here. I mean, he's got an open base, so he doesn't have to give in to this guy, but there's definitely danger looming on deck, so you can't just completely work around him either.
And here's a fastball for a strike. 2-1 now. Second and third, 2 away. Three and one now.
It's one thing to get hit around, but it's far worse when you're getting yourself into trouble by not throwing strikes. Every pitcher's been there, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating or unacceptable.
Fielded cleanly. Throw to first in time, and the big inning is avoided as the side is retired. Cards get 1 in the inning on the RBI double. We're through 4. It's now a 5-3 ball game. TJ McFarland, a southpaw standing 6'3", gets the ball now out of the bullpen. All ready to go in the top of the 5th. And coming forward, the veteran outfielder, Jorge Soler.
Jorge Soler.
First pitch on its way. Sent out to straightaway center field. Bader is there, and he makes the catch for the out. Cardinals are into their bullpen now, as there are the final numbers for their starter. And clearly he was off his game this evening.
Hey, this was just one of those games that just weren't meant to be when you add it all up. Had a rough time, only lasted 4 innings. Just wasn't able to give them the kind of performance they were looking for going into this one.
He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch.
After fouling off the second one, I got to step out of the box, adjust my batting gloves, and tell myself there's no chance he's tripling up on that pitch.
And he fouls this one off. 5 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error on the Atlanta line score. Hit hard to the right side. Throw on to first, 2 gone. So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Austin Riley. He went deep last time up.
Yeah, Matt, and going back to that last at-bat when he hit the homer, that was a fastball that was up in the zone. This guy likes the ball up in the zone, so if I'm on the mound right now, I'm thinking try to keep the ball at the knees and below. He doesn't handle that low pitch quite as well.
0-1, here it comes.
Yep, that ball went out. Down to 3-1.
Well, it's a pretty well-known fact that your batting average goes up as you get into more favorable hitters counts, and that's especially true when we're talking about this kind of hitter. Not a great spot to be in if you're the pitcher.
Sinker misses, ball 4.
Now batting, shortstop, Dansby.
So a runner at first with 2 away, and that brings up the former #1 overall pick, Dansby Swanson. From the stretch, here's the pitch. A changeup floats outside here for ball 1. Here's a changeup that's right there, 1-1. Had him off stride that time, and it's 1-2.
You have to find a way to lay off that low sinker. There is just no way to do any damage. You're just looking at either a bruised shin or a ground out to the left side.
Hard sinker misses, 2-2. 2 out with the man at first. Sinker, 3-2 now.
Good running count right here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on first. He'll be off to the races on this pitch.
And he misses again, ball 4, and that's back-to-back guys now that have reached base via the base on balls.
That was a great battle right there. He tried to get him to chase, but he laid off some really tough pitches and got a walk. Got to tip the cap to the batter that time.
So the next to bat will be Adam Duvall. It was a walk in his last trip. First pitch of the AB on its way. Fly ball out toward left center field. And the 2-out threat won't pay off. The inning is over. Couple of walks in the inning, but nothing on the scoreboard. Don't go anywhere. More Tuesday Night Baseball after this.
Choice to sacrifice myself where I can.
Set now for the bottom of the 5th, and set to go is the veteran first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
Paul.
Pitch on the way. Well hit the other way, and it's into the gap. Digging for second is Goldschmidt. And he is into second with a double, his 3rd hit of the night.
That was a pretty good fastball, and it almost got by him. But he's able to slap it in the gap in the right center field. Because of the velocity off the bat, the outfielders couldn't cut it off in time and allowed him to cruise into second really easy.
At the plate now, Nolan Arenado, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. No one out with a runner at second. In the dirt, and now let's see. Throw goes to third, and it's too late as he's in there.
That can be a tough read as a runner on second to see if the ball has gotten away enough to move to third. You have to be sure you can make it. He was there, and now he's only 90 feet away.
He's set. Here comes the 1-1. On a line, that's a base hit into left field. Notch one in the score column as the runner from third crosses the plate.
The left fielder, Tyler.
Next, here is Tyler O'Neill. He's 0 for 1 thus far. First pitch on its way. A runner at first with no outs here. Down and away, ball one. Now a 58-foot curveball that misses for a ball.
Good job by the catcher to keep the ball from getting too far away and allowing that base runner to get into scoring position. That keeps the double play in order, which they need, seeing as they've already given up 1 run in this inning.
Popped him up. Smith has a play. He's got it 1 away. Here's the catcher, Yadier Molina. He's hoping to avoid the hat trick. He struck out in each of his first 2 plate appearances so far. Has a look, now the pitch. And a curveball in for a strike. And low, it's a ball and a strike. And this pitch misses for a ball. 2-1 now to Molina.
A couple of strikeouts early in the game, but he's done a much better job in this at-bat trying to get ahead and put himself at a good hitter's count.
Just got a piece of that one. Perhaps shortening up now will get the ball in play. The 2-2.
Keep in mind, people, the longer the at-bat, the higher the likelihood that this becomes his last inning.
Hit in the air out to center field. Peterson giving chase. He gets there, and that's the second out. So it's a runner at first with 2 gone. And into bat next, one of the fastest players in all of baseball, Harrison Bader. He's set, and the pitch.
From an offensive standpoint, this is where you got to push the throttle right here. You've had a couple hits in the inning. You got a 1-0 count leverage. Let's see if he can gap something.
There's a swing and a missile sent out to center field. And they take the lead. It's gone. Two-run shot to straightaway center. Number 10 for him on the year. And this one gives him the lead. It's 6-5.
Awesome swing right there. You never know when that huge moment's going to come in the game. I know there's a little bit left in this one, but certainly they got to feel good about themselves.
Hey, anytime you can put some points on the board, we're not sure if this is going to be the difference in the game or not, but certainly when you get a big swing like that, make the fellas in the dugout feel a lot happier about the way this one's going to turn out at the end.
Ready to deliver. Here comes the first pitch. Edmundo Sosa is in for the third time as he looks at a ball high. It's 1-0.
Obviously, the game plan wasn't to let this guy beat you right here. He's already walked twice, and that pitch out of the zone tells me they want nothing to do with him.
Had him lunging at that pitch away, and it's 1-1 now. And here in just the fifth inning, this will be pitch number 100 here.
Boy, pitch count up near 100 right now, D-Row. And this is when you try to get to a good...
Well, the play's been made, and with it comes the end of the inning. But they strike for 3 in the inning. 2 on this 2-run home run. 5 innings complete. It's the Cardinals 6 and the Braves 5. Now into the box, Jock Peterson will try to get things started for the Braves in their half of the 6th. From the stretch, Cardinals get the bullpen started here as a right-hander's up and warming. Now the 1-0 is an off-speed pitch taken for a ball. Right side. Throw to first gets him, so the leadoff man's retired here to begin the 6th.
Now batting.
Stepping in once again is Kevin Smith, 1 for 2. He singled and struck out in 2 trips. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch.
Oh, that's out.
The 1-0 home is taken. Strike 1. Hits are even at 7 apiece. Fly ball out to straightaway right. Carlson is there. 2 down. Guillermo Heredia gets the call as a pinch hitter, and he'll get a chance with 2 out and the bases empty. He's set. Here it comes. As the first pitch sinker misses to him, it's ball 1. And he's a guy looking to break out in a big way. Hasn't been getting the results he or his club have been hoping for. The 1-0 delivery.
Nope, that's ball. Whoa, that's down.
Well, he really needs to make this guy swing the bat right here. He's not the type of hitter you want to dance around with.
The 3-1 pitch. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Grounded down the third baseline. Oh, and it sailed right over his head at first. And he's going to make it up to second base safely as he's in there. My word.
Well, I can see what he was thinking. Thought he had a chance to make a play at first, but then he forced the throw, and an error is the result. They got to deal with a runner on second now.
Ryan Helsley, a 6' 2" right-hander, jogs in to take over on the mound. So up steps Ozzie Albies, batting left-handed here as he takes a look at strike 1. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. comes set, the 0-1. Fastball called for strike 2.
On 0-2 here, he doesn't have to give in with a great pitch to hit. He's got a base open, so he has to focus on making a good pitch right here.
In the dirt here. Good job there as the count goes to 1-2. Trying to hold the lead. Here's the delivery. Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. Braves strand 1. This one remains close. It's 6-5. Bottom of the 6th inning on its way, but first, here's Heidi Watney.
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Cardinals to discuss his thoughts on his lineup so far. And flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. He said it's one of those games where everything has come together for his hitters. From their approach, to their swings, to the results. It's all working. One key indicator of that, 6 extra base hits to this point in the game.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. Jesse Chavez enters to do the pitching in the bottom of the 6th. Andrew Kisner is going to come off the bench as he'll be asked to lead off the bottom of inning number 6. First pitch of the AB on its way. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a flare hit toward right. Here comes Soler, but he won't get there. It falls in.
Hey, another leadoff knock right there. This game has been full of offense, full of traffic on the base pass. Let's see who's going to get that big double in the gap to clear.
Standing in now, Tommy Edman. He gets it hard on the ground to the left. That gets through, and he'll reach base again on his second base hit of the game.
Boy, D-Roll, when you're starting to swing it like this team is, doesn't matter. They bring in a new relief pitcher, right? And he gets greeted with back-to-back base hits.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want to do. In today's day and age of bullpen down your throat, you very rarely see back-to-back knocks when these guys are throwing smoke.
That's one of the keys, too. When you come in facing guys out of the bullpen, they're being taught to throw strikes early, and they're taking advantage of it. He's throwing strikes, and they're jumping all over him.
Well hit to right. He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far. Oh, 0-1, here it comes. And that misses downstairs for a ball, 1-1. And so now the Braves will get both a left-hander and a right-hander up and throwing in the bullpen. First and second here with nobody out. Hit hard towards the hole. And that's through into right field for a base hit. And no sense risking anything here as the bases will be loaded now with still nobody out.
Boy, Dero, we're looking at a big inning right here with that single. Bases are loaded, yet no runs have scored in this inning.
Yeah, and that's exactly what that pitcher wants you to say. You have to eliminate the noise, Dan. Just try and drive in the guy from third base. Don't put pressure on yourself that you have to get everyone in with one swing of the bat. Pass the baton and keep the line moving.
He waits, now the pitch. Paul Goldschmidt is at the plate as he watches ball 1. A ball and a strike to the Cardinals' first baseman.
He struggled a bit coming out of the bullpen here, so he needed that strike. Maybe it settles him down a little bit.
On a line, that's a base hit. They'll cash in here as the run is in to score from third. Now a 7-5 game.
Boy, this guy's having a great game here so far, Nero. Home run earlier in the night, and that base hit right there drives in his third run batted in of this game.
Yeah, you drive to the park every day hoping your rhythm and timing is on point with that pitcher's windup, and that's exactly been the case today. He not only mixed in that big bomb, but now he's got 3 ribbies to boot.
Singled last time up. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss as he pulls the top hand over. It's 0-2. Smoked on the ground up the middle. Step on the bag for 1. Back to first, so they get the double play, but the run does come in to score.
Now back.
A base is loaded. Last thing you want to do is ground into a double play, and that's just what he does. 1 run scores, but you don't get an RBI in that spot. That's a rally killer.
Into the box now, Tyler O'Neill, as he'll take a look at a pitch too low. It's ball 1. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. In there, 1-1.
Hey, that's a huge double play to settle everybody down right now. Giving up a few early runs. Let's see if he can get out of this inning and regroup.
He's set. Here comes the 1-1. Outside with the fastball as the count moves to 2-1 now. 3-1 to the Cardinals left fielder.
This is a spot you like to be in as a good hitter. Runners in scoring position and count leverage in your favor.
And there's a called strike at the knees as he was hoping for a base on balls there, but it's a full count now, 3-2. Fouled away. He'll try it again, 3-2. And another foul ball. The next 3-2. And he takes ball 4, so he's on. And as you know, that often means the steal could be in order here. So that's the second walk he's worked in this one.
Yeah, and that seems to be a popular approach when this guy steps in. He can really hurt you with 1 swing. So I think the idea is mostly not to let this one guy beat you, Matt.
Yadi Molina digging in now. Line to the right side. But that'll land foul, strike 1. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Comes set and the 0-1. Hit hard on the ground towards second, and that's through for a base hit. And they'll extend their lead even further as the run from third is in to score.
Hey guys, he doubled up right there. Back-to-back sliders. Nice job by the batter right there. Just misses the first one, makes the adjustment, stays a little shorter, and drives the next pitch for a base hit.
Josh Tomlin will come on now to make his 30th appearance of the year so far. Harrison Bader will stand in again as we flash you back to the middle innings here. This was a big blow, a 2-run home run that really got his guys going. First delivery to him.
He'll be fine coming out of the bullpen in this one if he can keep the ball around the knees like that.
fouled off. 0-2, here it comes.
I got to count 1 and 2.
Chopped toward the second baseman. He's got to hurry. Throw to second for the force out, and the side is retired. So they strike for 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and a couple of men left on. 7th inning coming up. It's the Cardinals 9 and the Braves 5. Number 60 will take the ball now as the new pitcher. Seventh inning ready to roll, and that'll bring up Jorge Soler to hit next.
Jorge Soler.
First pitch of the AB on its way, and they'll start him with a fastball that's low for ball 1. That's wide, 2-0.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. Good pitch. But if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
Now the pitch.
Pretty good pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate. One of the things you want to do as a pitcher, try to stand those hitters up.
That one's in there, 3-1.
Stealing that strike on 3-0 was important, but you don't want to miss over the heart of the plate in this situation. I got to believe he's going to be way more aggressive right here.
Just behind the fastball there, 2 strikes now.
That swing had one purpose, and that was to put the ball over the wall. I guess he doesn't have much to lose with his team down this many at this point in the game.
3-2 pitch. It's a high drive to left, back toward the wall, but he's going to run out of room. It's gone! It's a solo shot for Jorge Soler. Home run number 15 for him thus far. And just like that, it's down to a 3-run ball game.
Yeah, and if you remember the previous pitch, he couldn't get around on a fastball and was mad at himself. Well, there's nothing to be mad about anymore unless you're the guy standing on the mound wondering what just happened.
Here's the first baseman, Freddie Freeman, as he'll watch one miss down and in for a ball, 1-0. He grounded out last time up. The 1-0.
You could bet he wants that one back at the plate right now. That's a pitch you normally see a guy drive if he has the right approach going.
Bases are empty here, nobody out. To right field and absolutely hammered. Forget about making a play on that ball. It's way out of here. Back-to-back home runs. A solo home run off the bat of Freddie Freeman, number 25 for him on the year, as this lead has been sliced down to 2. To the plate now, Austin Riley, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1. He's got hits in both of his at-bats so far in this one. 1-0 delivery.
Like to see him be looking to the opposite field with this next swing. Pitcher's trying to work you away.
Base is empty here with nobody out. Outside, 3-0 now.
Well, he was definitely looking fastball here, and he got one. But that was good discipline to lay off and get himself into a 3-0 count.
And he goes with the slider here as that misses in tight. It's ball 4.
And with the bases empty, you don't feel bad about walking that guy. He's capable of taking you deep every time he digs in, so it's not the worst thing in the world to work around him if you can.
Luis Garcia takes the ball here as he'll enter with a runner at first and nobody out. Dansby Swanson will be the first to stand in against the new pitcher as he'll do so with a runner at first and nobody out. From the belt, kicks and deals.
You know, something to keep in mind, they're really burning through that bullpen, and this is only the first game of the series. Definitely could have an impact on the rest of the series, and maybe even the whole week ahead.
Nobody out, runner on first. Inside, and he falls behind the hitter now, 2-0.
Not even close with the 1-0. He needs to get back in the zone, but be careful. Work the quadrants.
The 2-0. Down low, and the plot thickens here, 3-0.
When you're playing close games like this, base runners mean everything, so he can ill afford to start giving away free passes.
He's set. Here's the 3-0. And he misses ball 4. So he comes out of the bullpen and immediately walks the first man he faces.
Now batting, left fielder.
So it's first and second now. Nobody out. And up next, former San Francisco minor league property Adam Duvall. Comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Splitter swung on and missed. 0-1. Tried to get him to go after the slider, but it's 1-1. And not a real good cut at that slider, and he's behind 1-2.
Not much you're going to do with that pitch right there. You have to catch it out front before it even breaks, and even if you do that, it's a tough pitch to keep fair.
None out, runners at first and second. And this is swung on and missed, and boy, they took care of a key man there. One away.
The center fielder, John.
So next to bat will be the left-handed hitting Jock Peterson, as he'll go after a hard sinker that time and falls behind 0-1. Chased a low ball there, and he's quickly down in the count 0-2.
Well, he's following the code not to miss down and into a lefty. Everything on the outer half of the plate.
Runners are at first and second with one away. Good bite to that sinker as he gets him to swing through it for out number 2.
That's a big strikeout there with the tying run over at first base. Now, with 2 outs, it becomes a lot more difficult to manufacture that guy home. Probably need a ball in the gap to give him a chance.
Next, it'll be Kevin Smith. 2 outs and 2 runners aboard here in the 7th inning. Hoping to limit the damage, here's the pitch.
Count 1-0.
2 men are on with 2 men out. Here's a swing and a miss, 1-1.
Hey, that was a nasty pitch right there. Ton of rotation on that ball. You could almost see the red dot from up here. Nasty depth.
Swung on and missed, 1-2 now.
Yeah, Matty, I'm going to need a better approach out of the 8-hole hitter. He's hitting in the bottom of the order for a reason. He's got to be willing to work the count, grind it, get this pitch count up, and get on for the boys in front of him.
The 2-2.
I don't think he can afford another base runner here, so whatever pitch he feels best about, whichever one he feels most comfortable with, that's the one I expect him to turn to.
And here's a slider that misses below the knees. It's ball 4.
I think he was trying to be a little too fine there, and a walk is the result. Well, the good news is he has a force at every base. The bad news, a single probably drives in a couple of runs.
Genesis Cabrera answers the call to pitch here in a big spot. He inherits a bases-loaded jam, but needs just 1 out to get out of it. Ehire Adrianza will come on to pinch hit here in a big spot. Wheels and deals. Here's the first pitch. He comes in at 262 on the year, 4 home runs and 23 driven in. Looked like the changeup slipped out that time, and it misses well above the zone.
Nowhere to put anybody. 2-0 count, not a good spot to be in as a pitcher.
Big spot. 2 out, possible tying and go-ahead runs on base. 2 balls and a strike now. Here's the 2-1.
It often becomes harder to hit the zone when the pressure starts to heat up.
The 3-1 pitch. And that misses. Ball 4. A run will come in to score.
Wow, they went to the pen because they liked the matchup. And what does he do? He walks the first guy he faces to bring in a run. So much for that strategy. Makes you wonder if they'll turn to him again next time in this situation.
So stepping in is Ozzie Albies. A potential tying run for him at third base. From the stretch, here's the pitch. Changeup, a little bit inside, 1-0. And here's a fastball inside as the count moves to 2-0 now.
If you're hitting in this situation, you have to look one spot, and that is all. This guy is really scuffling out on the mound. The bases are loaded. 2-0 count. He's all over the place. One spot. If it's not there, you have to take.
Now a shot sent off to the right side, but foul.
I think for every player, for every former player, that swing right there is the reason we need to extend the netting without question. Want the fans to be safe.
Hit in the air to straightaway center. Bader is there to make the catch, and a great job of pitching as they strand the potential tying run at third. So they do get 3 that inning. That's the good news. The bad news is they leave 3 men on base. On to the bottom of the 7th. Get up and stretch here in St. Louis. It's the Cardinals 9 and the Braves 8. Shane Green gets the call from the pen to take the ball for the home 7th. Digging in will be Edmundo Sosa, grounded out in his last at-bat.
Yeah, I understand that, Matty, but this guy's got burner wheels down the first base line. I don't think he even concerns himself with that. He has to put it on the ground. That's part of what makes him successful.
Lays off 1-0.
You know, because this is just a one-run game, this doesn't strike me as a situation where he's going to be working around a guy. I think he's going to challenge him right here.
Off-speed pitch, just missed inside.
2 balls, no strike.
Two balls and a strike to the St. Louis leadoff hitter. Three balls and a strike to the Cardinals shortstop.
And just when you needed a shutdown inning, a leadoff walk was certainly not on the agenda. He needs to bear down right here.
He's set. Here's the 3-1. And that misses, ball 4. It's a leadoff walk to start the home 7th.
That is not the way he wanted to start off this half inning. It's one thing to walk the leadoff hitter, but it's even more painful when the leadoff hitter is an absolute burner, and he can really wreak some havoc on the bases.
Matt Carpenter will grab a bat and hit for the pitcher here. Now here's the first offering. Still plenty to be desired in terms of batting average, down in the 180s entering play. 3 homers and an even 20 RBIs. Now the 1-0 is a changeup that's looked at for a ball.
You thank your lucky stars when you get a chance to hit behind a guy with as much speed as he has on first base. The entire defense is on guard, and you know probably there's a fastball coming.
2-0 count, the pitch.
Sometimes you got to be aggressive offensively, but sometimes you just let the pitcher dig his own grave. Patience and discipline seem to be the way to go right here.
Here it is on 3-0, and he lays off there, ball 4. So back-to-back walks have him in business here with nobody out.
Now batting, the second baseman, Tommy.
So it's first and second now, nobody out, and that'll bring in Tommy Edman. From the belt, the pitch.
Ooh, he's really in trouble, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. This guy needs to find the strike zone in the worst way.
The 1-0 misses for the second ball.
Boy, this hole he's digging on the mound is all his doing. If you can't throw strikes, you're not going to be out there very long.
Hard hit to first. Freeman's got it to second for 1. Now over to Freddie, and it's a double play.
Oh, that's a rally killer right there. They were in great shape with 2 on and nobody out, but the double play is the last thing you want in that situation. Just a runner at third now, but there's 2 outs.
Into the box, Dylan Carlson, as it's grounded sharply to first. Freeman is up with it, and that will conclude matters here in the 7th. Cards lead 1. They lead it 9-8. New pitcher to tell you about, and it's a guy drafted number 6 overall out of North Carolina in 2006, the 6'6" lefty Andrew Miller. ready to begin the 8th, and that'll bring forth the veteran outfielder, Jorge Soler.
Well, Matt, this is one of the problems. This guy's a good fastball, particularly low fastball hitter. It doesn't matter how hard or how low you throw it. That's right into this wheelhouse. What you want to do with this guy is move the ball from the belt up to get him to chase something that maybe he'll pop up in the infield.
The 1-0. As we near the end of this one, it's clear the long ball has played a big role in today's outcome. Dan, D-Row, what are your final thoughts on what we've seen?
Yeah, just non-competitive pitches in some big situations, Dan, and the offense took full advantage.
Yeah, you know, D-Row, one of the things about pitching is you want to have location, and it was obvious in this one today that the pitchers weren't on point, and what happens when that happens? Hitters make you pay, and the long ball was a big part of this one here.
And he lays off, ball 4. So now the potential tying run here is aboard late in the game.
Man, that's a tough one to swallow. You're hanging on to a slim lead, and the last thing you want to do is give up a leadoff walk. Seems like those are the ones that always come back to haunt you. So we'll see if that's the case here.
So a runner at first now with nobody out. And in to bat next, one of the best run producers in the game, the left-handed hitting first baseman, Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, Matt, that last at-bat, that was a pretty good pitch. A fastball down and away that he went out and hooked and pulled it. So if I'm on the mound right now, I'm going to have to think about throwing one up and in and standing this guy up to make that outside corner not as appealing.
And this winds up inside for a ball. 2-0 now.
6 straight here out of the zone to start the inning, so I think it's a good time to go out and have a word with your pitcher. Just got to make sure everything's fine physically and remind him to be free and easy with his motion. You can't try to force pitches into the strike zone.
Two balls and a strike to Freeman.
You can really tell they're trying to keep the ball in on this big slugger right here.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt, but he might spin to win if he starts looking for it in there.
Now the 2-1 pitch. High and deep down the left field line. And this will wind up a foul ball.
Not surprised he's laid on a heater right there. Just saw an off-speed pitch. Wanted to stay back a little bit too long.
Swing and a miss on the fastball, and that's the first out.
You know what was really impressive to me about that strikeout? He fell behind 2-0 to start the at-bat. That's a pretty bad place to be, but then he kind of refocused himself and came right back with 3 quality pitches in a row to sit him down. That's not easy to do, but now his focus has to hone in on getting ahead on the next guy.
So now to the plate, Austin Riley. No balls and a strike to count. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch.
Well, that's a nasty breaking ball right there. Backdoor slider, just missed the corner. As they say, that's a Hall of Fame pitch.
The 1-1 home.
I'd be real surprised if he goes back out away there on the mound. This is a count for a fastball challenge, and we'll see if he's ready for it in the box.
Quick check on that tying run at first, and the runner will get back standing. And again a throw, keeping particularly close tabs on him. The 2-1 home. Softly hit down to third, likely no shot at 2. One there on to Goldschmidt, and it's in time, a double play, and the side is retired. They make it look easy, don't they? Around the horn for the double play to end the inning. Back with more here on a Tuesday night after this. Abraham Almonte will stick around as he'll take over in right field. bottom of inning number 8 set to go. And here comes the first baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. He's set, and the pitch, as the sinker to him finds the zone for strike 1. Off the plate and in, hits a ball and a strike. And he'll come back with 1 in the dirt as the count moves to 2-1 now. 2-2 now. And it's fouled away. Another 2-2 offering, and a changeup swung on and missed for the first down.
People always talk about how important getting the leadoff man on base is, and it's true. So in the 8th inning of a 1-run game, that's a really nice job of attacking a hitter and sending him packing.
At the plate now, Nolan Arenado, as he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1. And boy, was he ever fooled on that pitch. It's 0-2 now.
Hey, this offense is going to have to change their mindset. If they're going to get swing and misses on that slider, you know he's going to go to that well. They are going to have to be willing to take the ball the other way and stay back on that heater, or they are not going to recognize that pitch.
The next 0-2 is swung on and missed, strike 3.
Pretty textbook pitching right there. Jump ahead in the count 0-2 and then start working outside the zone. Easier said than done, but that's the way you do it.
Stepping in now, Tyler O'Neill, as he'll come up empty that time on a sinker at strike 1. No hits to this point. Set to deliver the 0-1.
Nope, ball 1. 1-1.
Boy, he looks strong out there on the mound this inning. He's got a chance to punch out the side in order, and against the middle of the order, too.
Here comes the 1-2. Is a wave and a miss. He struck him out. 1-2-3 go the Cardinals. They lead it 9-8. Alex Reyes comes on from the pen, hoping to finish this one off here in the top of the 9th. And now, Dansby Swanson. First delivery to him.
Hey, I don't blame him for giving up on that curveball. That was a rainbow coming out of the sky. Stole a strike.
The 1-2.
That's a ball.
And he takes something off there as this is swung on and missed, and there's one gone here in the 9th.
When your closer comes in and strikes out the first guy he faces, everyone on the team can kind of take a deep breath. Still have 2 more outs to get, but retiring that leadoff guy is always huge when you're trying to shut a game down.
From the stretch, Adam Duvall comes on with one away as he looks at a ball. It's 1-0. 2-0.
I'm seeing him just a little too amped up out there right now. That's common with hard throwers like him. Running a blazing fastball up there is great, but if you can't harness it, what good does it do you?
Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Ball 3. Three and 1.
Now, this guy's got some of the nastiest stuff in the game, and it is absolutely no fun for an offense to try and piece together any type of attack when he's throwing this stuff.
And the good fastball there finds the zone as the count goes full now. 3-2. And it's another K. So back-to-back strikeout victims to start this relief outing.
Well, you have to feel pretty confident about the way this one's going to end up as a manager. 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts from the closer. There's not a whole lot more he can do to instill confidence that he's going to wrap this thing up without any problem.
Here's Jock Peterson now as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike 1. He comes into this appearance in the midst of a 1-for-4 day. Tying run at the plate, the 0-1. Not close with the off-speed pitch taken for a ball. And he just gets a piece there as this is chopped foul. Now this crowd right around 35,000 strong on their feet. 2-2.
The classic back foot slider right there with 2 strikes. Usually gets a ton of swing and misses. Nice layoff right there. Fight for another pitch.
Final strike for the Braves. And a swing and a miss as they definitely had him reaching for that one, and this ball game is over.
Man, they've already put the all-time winning streak record in their rearview mirrors. But with every win, it gets further and further away. We could say this now. This is one of the greatest teams in the history of baseball.
A close one, 9-8 at the end of the game in this one. St. Louis used a nice 5th inning to take the lead, and they never gave it back. T.J. McFarland gets the win in relief, his 2nd of the year. Max Fried struggled and gets the loss after giving up 6 earned. Alex Reyes strikes out the side to record the save, his 25th of the year. So that'll do it for us. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plezak, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to the new website, theshow.com.
Our final line score tonight. First for the victorious St. Louis Cardinals, 9 runs, 12 hits. 1 error, they left 8 runners on base. For Atlanta, 8 runs, 10 hits, 1 error, and 11 runners left on base. Time of the ball game, 4 hours and 1 minute. Thank you for joining us here tonight. And we remind you to please drive home safely.